आप अपनी सैलरी से अमीर बन सकते हो?
नहीं।
लोग कहते हैं कि बिजनेस करने से ही आप अमीर बन सकते हो, पर स्टार्टअप्स कहते हैं कि जॉब करने से भी आप अपना फर्स्ट करोड़ तो कमा ही लोगे। अगर हम आपको ESOPs दे तो शेयर होल्डर्स बन गए ना आप कंपनी के। नहीं समझे? फर्ज करो कि मुन्नी ने एक जॉब के लिए अप्लाई किया है और उसको 2 कंपनी से ऑफर आता है। एक थोड़ी अच्छी कंपनी है, लिस्टेड भी है, फाइनेंशियल्स भी अच्छे हैं, और एक दूसरी कंपनी है जो एक स्टार्टअप है। कंपनी 1 ने मुन्नी से कहा है कि कांग्रेचुलेशंस, आप सिलेक्ट हो गए हो जॉब के लिए और आपका CTC है 60 लाख रुपीस पर ईयर। कंपनी 2 ने मुन्नी से कहा है कि आपकी जॉब तो लग गई है, पर हाँ आपको सिर्फ 40 लाख रुपए दे पाएंगे एज सैलरी, पर आपको हम 40 लाख रुपए के ESOPs भी देंगे। तो मुन्नी ने सोचा कि 40 से 40 हुआ 80, तो कंपनी 2 तो सही है, वैसे शेयर्स भी मिल जाएंगे कंपनी के, तो डबल बोनस हो जाएगा। तो मुन्नी की तरह बहुत लोगों ने सोचा होगा कि कंपनी 2 ही सही है, पर ऐसा नहीं है। क्यों? मैं बताती हूँ। पहले तो ESOPs क्या होते हैं? ESOPs यानी एम्प्लॉय स्टॉक ऑप्शन प्लान एक कंपनी के शेयर्स की तरह होते हैं। Meaning, ESOPs are like company giving its employees its shares, which means that they will be the owner of a portion of the company. Okay, let me explain this with an example. समझो कि there is this company founded by Shakuntala Devi and Sheelavati, both own 50% of shares of this company. Now they say कि अरे यार, how to get the best employees with us, and जो है वो भी बहुत talented है पर motivate नहीं हो रहे। So they decide to give company shares to its employees in the form of ESOPs. So they create say 10% of the company shares as ESOP pool. From this 10%, they divide the shares between employees of the company. They do this for multiple reasons. Retaining good talent is number 1. Number 2, motivating employees to work better. क्योंकि भाई अगर आपके पास कंपनी के शेयर्स हैं तो वो कंपनी अगर अच्छा करेगी तो आपके शेयर्स भी तो बढ़ेंगे ना। Lastly, to compensate for the low salary that they are giving. मुन्नी के केस में देखा आपने, 40 लाख की सैलरी दे रहे हैं और बाकी के ESOPs। तो अगर आपकी कंपनी ये कर रही है तो आपको सोचना चाहिए उस ऑफर के बारे में। क्या सोचना चाहिए? मैं एंड में बताती हूँ। अभी हम बात करते हैं कि ESOPs मिलने का प्रोसेस क्या होता है। How do you get your ESOPs? Now, when the company says कि they will give you ESOPs, it doesn't mean that they are going to give you shares ऐसे ही। एक कंपनी की एक पॉलिसी होती है। There is cliff, there is vesting period, then there is exercise period. Let's explore this one by one. Cliff is the period of time, usually 1 year, in which you are supposed to stay with the company before you get your ESOPs. When you stay in the company for 1 year, then there will be a vesting period. Your ESOPs are divided in 3 or 4 portions, and every year you get one portion of it. Now, voila, you have got all your ESOPs. Now, can you sell them? No. Then there is an exercise period. This is the period which you have to exercise your ESOPs, because remember, they are not stocks, they are options. So you have to exercise these shares at an exercise price. Here you have the option to buy these shares or not buy these shares. Say the company is devalued significantly and you won't get any buyers of these shares, so you don't exercise them. Or if you miss the deadline, your ESOPs will be wasted. Now every company has a different rule for ESOP, so you need to read their policies well. Now let's come to the most important part. How do you sell your ESOPs? Just like how investors do. Number 1, in the stock market if the company is listed. Number 2, through IPO, if the company has launched its IPO, you can sell it in the stock market. Number 3, during acquisition, you can liquidate your ESOPs by selling them to the acquirer. And number 4, when the company is buying back its shares. Now that we have spoken about selling the ESOPs, we also need to talk about how they are taxed. ESOPs are taxed in a very complicated way. They are taxed on your tax slab when you exercise ESOPs, which means that when you get your shares, the government says, hey, you got some income, so you got to pay some taxes even if you haven't sold your shares. Then when you finally sell them, you make a profit. Then you have to pay capital gains tax on your profit because you made profit out of selling shares. So you have to pay capital gains tax. Okay, now let's come to the pros and cons of ESOPs. ESOPs are good if the company is good. You know that the company will grow in value and so will your ESOPs. It is also good because you get the shares of the company and you kind of feel that you own some part of this company and it drives your motivation to work. Then there are negatives. Just like you think that the company can grow in value, it can also do opposite. It may go bankrupt, close down, and your shares will become zero, anda. Second, you have to wait for a long time to get these shares. There is cliff, there is vesting, and finally exercise. Even after that, third, you have to pay taxes when you get your shares in hand and then when you sell them too, right? So I'm not saying that ESOPs are completely bad, they're good too. But you need to first know that the company is legit, it will grow. Second, you need to understand that the value of your ESOPs can also go down to zero and you should be okay with that. Don't go for a lower salary in hand just because you're getting ESOPs because bill to bhai aapko salary se hi bhanna hai na. And last, make sure that you read your ESOPs policies well enough. What happens to your ESOPs when your company gets acquired by someone, and please get them in writing somewhere. So this is all you need to know about ESOPs. Check out our other video that we did on how to calculate your salary in hand to understand how ESOPs work on your offer letter, and I will see you in the next video.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.